A woman who survived a terrifying past, stepping out of the shadows in hopes of providing a better future for thousands of kids. Jessa Dillow-Crisp is trying to save the lives of other kids sold into sex trafficking. 7 News reporter Lance Hernandez talked with Jessa. And Lance, she escaped a tragic world of abuse and sexual exploitation.
She really did, Eric. You know, Jessa Dillow-Crisp was a victim of human trafficking. It started when she was a child and didn't end until just a few short years ago. Now she's talking about her experience because she wants people to know what's happening, not just where she grew up, but right here in Colorado.
I had somebody very close to me tortured, and she eventually died in front of my eyes.
An indescribable life of pain and exploitation. Jessa Dillow-Crisp says family members sexually abused her as a child and forced her to pose for pornographers. She was sold to countless men on a daily basis. Jessa couldn't go to police because they were among her abusers.
There's gang raping. There's police officers who'd put handcuffs on me and rape me and tell me that I would be put in jail if I opened my voice.
Jessa, who grew up in Canada, says she briefly escaped that life, then fell through the cracks and found herself being sold in Colorado and neighboring states during the 2010 Winter Olympics. With the help of mentors, good law enforcement officers, and a strong faith, she escaped that life again. She said she treasures her freedom. Today, she quoted Eleanor Roosevelt, who said, "With freedom comes responsibility."
The responsibility that I feel is to be a face for hundreds of individuals here in Colorado, including men, women, and children, who are being abused and exploited right now.
And when you talk to Jessa today, she doesn't sound like a victim. She says she's a victor. She's using her adopted family's name, getting ready to graduate with a 3.96 GPA in clinical psychology. And oh yeah, she's getting married in just a few months. What an amazing story. Lance Hernandez, 7 News.
A Fox 5 I-Team investigation prompts a local sheriff to ask state and federal authorities to look into allegations a deputy demanded sexual favors from a suspect.
Now, this case stems from graphic comments secretly recorded by the woman involved. It's a recording now in the hands of investigators.
Yeah, but Fox 5 I-Team reporter Randy Travis has a copy of that recording too and joins us now. Randy.
Yeah, Russ and Sine, Monroe County Sheriff's Deputy Bill Miller joined the department in April. He's been a Georgia cop since 2014. But it's this conversation with a woman he had earlier arrested that's now put his career in jeopardy.
You come over here. I ain't gonna jump on your ass, I promise you.
I mean, I'm good. I'm all right.
On a lonely dirt road in Monroe County, an off-duty cop wants a woman he recently arrested to do him a favor. The kind a cop is not supposed to have in mind.
Not even John?
No.
I'm just messing with you. I think you like it, but
no, I'm kidding.
You probably would like it.
No, I don't know about that. Yeah. And he thought he had that advantage on me.
But Ashley Roberts had other ideas.
All right, Miss Roberts, come on over here with me.
In July, Monroe County Deputy Bill Miller arrested the 34-year-old Union City woman for suspected drunk driving and possession of meth. She made bond, and a few weeks later says she got a call from Miller to meet her in a parking lot late at night. She told Internal Affairs investigators the same story she told us.
Yeah.
Miller put her in his personal Dodge Ram pickup, handed her a Coors Light, and drove them to this dirt trail off Freeman Road.
I didn't think I had to record anything until I got to that dirt road. After I turned on that dirt road, that's when I knew something was fishy.
The recorded conversation starts with her pending charges.
Well, I know how to get rid of them.
Well, how is that?
All I got to do is talk to the DA.
Well, I know that's how you can get rid of them, but me, on the other hand,
that's up to you.
That should have made me think. Ain't no police in their right mind gonna ask for information this time of night.
The whole reason I gave you the beer. Is leverage.
Oh. What leverage would that be?
Well, I got a unit sitting over there.
So what are you trying to do? You trying to blackmail me or something?
Yeah.
Oh, it ain't gonna work.
It won't?
No.
I'm just messing with you.
Okay.
Do you think he was really just messing with you?
No.
What do you think he was doing?
I think he was serious.
On the 19-minute recording, Miller alternates between asking Roberts for the names of drug dealers and asking her to at least lift up her shirt.
Sure no boobs?
Yeah, I'm sure.
God almighty.
Sorry.
Can't you give me the dignity of a boob shot?
Sorry.
One boob.
Please don't fault me for that.
I really don't want to have sex with you. I just with you.
I have.
I mean, I would, because you're not a bad looking girl. You just need to straighten your ass out.
I'm not that type of girl. I'm a good girl. I just hang out with the wrong crowd. I can throw this out.
Yeah.
On the recording, you can hear Miller tell Roberts it's okay to toss that Coors Light out the passenger window. Then she says he drove them back to her car.
So that must mean there's a can of Coors Light somewhere along this trail. We started looking and check out what we found. That is a can of Coors Light still in the bag with a receipt showing the debit card number of the person who bought it. Deputy Miller?
Yeah.
I need to ask you about a woman you arrested recently. Her name is Ashley Roberts. Remember her?
No.
You arrested her for drunk driving, and then you met with her just last week, and
We'll be out here pretty soon.
you offered her a chance to get her charges removed if she did sexual favors for you.
Not me, buddy.
Oh yeah, we got the recording. Would you like to hear the recording? I've got it right here. You can listen to it.
That same night, Miller's supervisor told him to turn around and surrender his badge and weapon. He's on paid administrative leave until the state and federal investigations are finished. We gave the department directions to that dirt road so investigators could recover that beer can and any fingerprints that might still be on it.
I did the crime, I do the time. Yes, I was pulled over for DUI in possession. Yes, I'll take that charge. I'm not doing nothing to jeopardize myself.
Ashley Roberts was on probation at the time of her DUI arrest. This week, a judge revoked that probation and sent her back to the Fulton County Jail. The deputy who arrested her for that DUI and heard on tape trying to blackmail her is on paid administrative leave while the investigation continues.
Now, Ashley doesn't have a lot of trust in police at this point, and understandably so.
Yeah, that's why she came to us. She didn't know if they would trust her, or at least if they would believe her. So she brought us the recording. We confirmed the beer can that was out there, and then took our findings to the sheriff's department once we had a chance to talk to Deputy Miller.
Okay, and there's no real question that this is Deputy Miller's voice on that recording, right?
Sure sounds like it, yeah.
Yeah.
And Sheriff Shackelford, Al Shackelford, says over the phone at least that they're shocked and disappointed, and they're hoping that they'll get to the bottom of this very soon.
Yeah, we know you'll keep us posted.
We will.
Thanks, Randy.
Thank
Don't spit, swallow, bro. Don't you fucking spit. Stop. You don't mean shit.
This is surveillance video showing two sheriff's deputies allegedly beating a suspect with batons. Authorities say the deputies were monitoring a hotel parking lot when they came across what they say was a stolen Mercedes-Benz. Inside was the suspect, who they say ignored all of the commands. They say he took that Mercedes and rammed two patrol cars, injuring a deputy in the process.
This is not only excessive force, but it's brutality. He's on the ground, they can easily handcuff him, but they just keep hitting him.
Whatever people think of this incident, it does not reflect the daily things that we do every day in our community to make it a better place.
At this point, it's going to be up to authorities to determine what kind of charges both the suspect and the deputies could face. Both of those deputies have been placed on administrative leave.
Tonight, a radical change for the Chicago Police Department, releasing online evidence from scores of pending investigations involving police use of force. In one of those videos, we see an officer shoving, then punching a handcuffed man inside a hospital room. And in Chicago tonight, they are bracing for the reaction. ABC's Eva Pilgrim is there.
An officer points his gun at a battery suspect by a bus stop. The suspect runs towards him and the officer fires. The suspect falls to the ground but survives. It's one of hundreds of videos released today by the city of Chicago from 101 use of force investigations still open dating back 4 years.
We all agree that there's a lack of trust and that increased transparency is essential to rebuilding that trust.
It all comes after the city took 13 months to release police dash cam footage of Officer Jason Van Dyke shooting 17-year-old Laquan McDonald 16 times on a city street. That case sparking protests. One of the videos released today shows Lisa Simmons being roughly thrown against a squad car during a 2014 block party. Her arrest, part of a lawsuit recently settled by the city. The same officer, after yelling at the crowd gathered, "Get out of the street or you're going to jail!" striking 30-year-old Jeremiah Smith with a baton, then forcing him to the ground.
David, after today, this kind of evidence will be released 60 to 90 days after the incident. The police union calling this release irresponsible and sad. David?
South of 520, east of 225. He's in his field, like a church lot or something like that. And he's got himself hemmed in here pretty good.
Crystal clear, obvious, unnecessary, and excessive force. So it's a criminal assault. And there is strong evidence, being the video, to prove that.
I can see you coming in the driveway now. That's going to be him off-road. And be aware again for that firearm. He's over through the ditch and back going to be in a northbound direction.
As you can see on the Air One video, which was following along and reporting to the officers on the ground what was unfolding, our client stopped the vehicle, obviously realized he was done, opened up the door, walked several feet away from the vehicle.
Vehicle stopped, driver's out, hands up, and proned himself out. He has proned himself out on the ground.
The chase was over. The first officer on scene, what we now know to be an RCMP member, came full speed running on foot to our client from the direction of his head, kicks our client in the head because you can see our client's head snap back, at which point multiple officers, now we know to be all EPS officers, come in to also secure our client. And that is the point at which multiple kicks and punches by multiple officers are leveled against our client.
Was he struggling at all when the other officers came in?
Well, once he begins to be beaten, they state in the reports that he began to struggle and they needed so many officers to get him under control. But as the ACERT investigation report indicates, without surprise, as soon as he begins to be kicked in the head multiple times, he begins to try and turtle and protect himself. So it's a natural instinct to try and protect yourself when you're being assaulted, which is what happened, as opposed to resisting arrest. But everyone agrees he surrendered. Air One was up there saying he surrendered. Why does he come out looking like that? Why does anyone come out looking like that? And then, to boot, you have it actually recorded on video. No one thought that this would result in no charges being laid.
Okay, take your phone out. It's out, it's out.
Two jaw-dropping cell phone videos showing the disturbing actions of two Gwinnett County police officers during a traffic stop. Oh. The first video, released on Wednesday, went viral on social media. It shows the handcuffed driver, identified as Demetrius Hollins, on the ground and in handcuffs, held down by one officer. And moments later, the second officer, identified as Robert McDonald, shows up to assist with the arrest. McDonald then runs up and stomps the helpless handcuffed Hollins in the head.
Disturbed me, and as it disturbed everyone who actually witnessed that video.
Within 24 hours of that video being released, Officer McDonald was fired. During a press conference, the chief calls McDonald's actions inexcusable.
What happened yesterday at the hands of one of my former officers was embarrassing, not only to the Gwinnett County Police Department, but to all law enforcement. We hold our officers accountable for their actions, And in less than 24 hours, the Gwinnett County Police Department held this officer accountable for his actions.
But just hours after today's press conference, the second cell phone video surfaces of that same controversial traffic stop. It shows veteran Sergeant Michael Bongiovanni pulling the driver out of the red car. And as the driver stands with his hands raised, a sign of surrender, the sergeant rears back and punches the driver whose hands remained raised.
I'm very upset. I'm mad. I'm sick that the second video showed up.
Police Chief Ayers says Sergeant Bongiovanni hid his actions from investigators.
I'm glad that the second video was forwarded to us. We've been able to move swiftly to terminate this supervisor who not only stepped outside of his training in state law, but he failed to tell us what happened in the incident report and the use of force reports.
We now have video from a traffic stop in September of 2014. This one's from Ohio, and it is not good. So be careful if you're queasy, because it's another very disturbing video. Now, it is about Pele Smith. At the end, I will tell you what grave crime he was being arrested for. But the local police chief, Lorain Police Chief Sel Rivera, says, look, if you just look at the tape, it could be, quote, it could be misunderstood. Well, we'll see if it could be misunderstood in a second. Of course, he says, no, it doesn't tell the complete story. No, you're going to get to see very important, relevant parts of the story in the tape for yourself. And he says, now I want you to listen carefully to this. He said, during the arrest and Mr. Smith's active resistance, he was placed on the hood of the police unit to gain control and conduct a search as per policy. So let's see how they placed him on the hood. That's apparently the policy for these cops. So then you wonder why we think that the police need to be retrained. If they're proud of that policy and they say, oh, no, yeah, that's right. After we handcuff a guy who clearly on tape is not resisting, we go over and smash our own windshields with his face. No, we place them on the hood as per policy. So now, afterwards, of course, what are they going to do? They're going to smear him because they got to protect themselves. So they called him a violent drug trafficker. Local NBC News looked into it. They say they have no record of violent crimes by Pele Smith. That doesn't mean he didn't do anything wrong. He's got a drug offense and carrying a firearm at one point. Probably an offense that a lot of folks in Ohio have. But there are no violent drug offenses, and so that's not true. And here they go smearing him. Okay, did he do that in this case? Anything to do with drugs, weapons? No, there's no weapons at all. Now, they went on to say, there was probably cocaine or heroin in his system. So was there? Was there any in his car? Was there anything along those lines? Nope. NBC News reports the only thing they found in his car was Excedrin. Okay. And how about this Lorain police force? Is this the only time they've ever done it? You know, we're being unfair to those poor police. This is we got them on tape once, but come on. No. The United States Justice Department investigated this police force in 2012 for excessive force. And they investigated him in 2012. This incident happened in 2014. You investigate him, it doesn't matter. They're like, no, we're not going to change our policy. Our policy is to take people and smash their heads into, into our windshields and do whatever else after they're handcuffed. Now, you want to know what he was being detained for? The very, very serious crime in this instance of jaywalking. That's what they did to him for jaywalking. You know what? I'm going to show you the tape one more time because you might not have experienced this. It doesn't mean that it doesn't happen in America. For some people, this happens far too often. Look at what they did to him after he was handcuffed for jaywalking. That too is America. But we got to be better, and we can be better. We have to fix the training and the policy, because if that's your policy, that's disastrous. We can't have that be your policy. We've got to have it so that you actually protect all of us and serve all of us. That's supposed to be your job, not to do that. Now, we'll see if there's any accountability at all in this police department, but so far, there has been none. At the Young Turks, we believe in change. We believe we can change the media, make it more independent. Come do it with us. tytnetwork.com/join.
It's gonna be bad. You understand me? Okay, you done kicked out a window. I'm telling you right now, you're gonna get put in leg shackles. You understand me? If you move and try to kick me, it's gonna be bad. All right? We think to take you out and put you in leg shackles.
Hey, Russell, go ahead. Let Russell, go ahead.
Look at it. Oh. Stop resisting. Stop resisting. Put him in. Grab the shackles. Grab the shackles. Put him in shackles. Stop resisting and let us put you in cuffs. Stop resisting. Stop resisting. All right.
Who's the key? I don't know. What is it?
Gonna put him in your car?
Maybe
it's in there. She ain't be able to. He ain't be able to put it in her car because he's got busted outside.
Here he is.
Grab his arm.
What's your badge number, sir? What's your name and badge number?
My name is Officer Richardson.
Badge number?
257.
257. Yours, sir?
Officer Hopwood.
I'm sorry, what? Oh, it's right.
Hopwood.
Hopwood.
Yep. 884.
884, right?
Yep.
What can we do? What
And you,
can we
ma'am?
help you with?
How you doing, sir?
How are you?
Officer Buffew, 1942.
How do you spell it? I'm sorry.
B-O-U-F-F-I-O-U.
What can we help you with, sir?
I'll tell you in a minute, sir.
Okay.
Hold 1 second. What's your badge number?
1942.
19? Okay. Well, you tell me. I'm going to step back here and get a bigger picture of what's going on. And you tell me what you think you can help me with.
I don't know until you tell me what you
Why don't you turn around and look over your right shoulder?
Okay. There's a handicap parking spot.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, whose cruiser is this? Whose cruiser is this?
That's mine.
That's your cruiser. He's blocking it.
Uh-huh.
And with all respect, she is at least, you know, a third of the way into it.
Did you ask us why we're here?
I don't need to ask that. I'm documenting.
Okay. Well, we're here for.
I'm assuming you're on a call, right?
We're here. Yes, we're here on a call.
Two things you could be here for. I'm giving you the
We're here
benefit
for a
of the doubt. I don't want to speak over you. With all respect, go ahead.
Okay, we're here for a call.
Okay.
And we just finished the call.
This is a coffee shop here, right?
Yep.
Okay. So you're either for the coffee shop or you're either here for a call.
Uh-huh.
If you're here for a call, we'll give you the right to block a handicap spot.
Because sometimes we have to come in, and sometimes you don't. You just showed up. You don't know what these parking spots were here with. You don't know if this was.
When I showed up is irrelevant. I'm documenting what's going on now.
You asked me, and I'm explaining to you. You asked me. Did you not ask me?
Listen, I'm going to be honest with you.
I'm explaining to you. You don't know what these parking spots were here prior to you coming here, whether they were filled or not. You don't know anything. You just pulled up.
That is irrelevant.
And accusing us of whatever.
I'm talking about the same.
And that's fine.
All that you're talking about makes no sense, my man. Listen.
Why does it make sense?
I don't want to interrupt you. Can I talk?
Sure.
Okay. It doesn't make sense. Who was here? What is that? I mean, we don't know what happened 10 years ago. My point is, if somebody, let me finish. Let me finish because I can see you're going to jump in. If somebody comes here right this second and wants to park in a handicapped spot, you guys are technically blocking it. I mean,
yes, we are.
So what does it matter? So what does it matter? So what does it matter 10 minutes ago? I don't understand your point.
My point to you was
it's irrelevant.
It could be.
Your point is irrelevant, and I'm done listening to it, to be honest with you. What is it with you guys in this blue line thing, man? You stick to it.
Okay,
if you're wrong, you're wrong. Listen, apologize, man up, and be like, you know what? I'm blocking it.
Why am I apologizing to you?
You don't have to apologize to me. Apologize to the fact that you guys think you're above the law.
Are you handicapped?
Have a good day. If I'm handicapped, that makes no sense. Make sure you record it.
Because if you were handicapped,
make sure you record it.
We are.
You guys are not above the law.
No, we're not.
I know you are. I know. Not that you're above the law. I know you're recording. You guys are not above the law.
What's your name, sir?
You guys are not above the law.
What is your name, sir?
You know who I am.
I don't
Look
know
me
who
up.
you are. If I
know me.
knew who you were,
You know me.
Never met you before, sir.
Have a good day.
Davey V. Look it up.
Okay. I know who Davey V is now.
Oh, now you know. What's up, baby? Yep. This is the I know you heard about me. This is the above mentality and entitlement that the Rochester, New York Police Department. Make sure you keep recording. Absolutely. I know you have to, and I want you to. Even if you didn't have to, I want you to. This is incredible. You got cruiser P13, 223, and again, a better shot. I mean, it's disgusting. They refuse to just say, you know what? You're right, sir. We're wrong. They refuse. That is the blue line.
Okay, so be safe out there.
You are not above the law, ma'am.
Have a good day.
You are not above the law.
Drive safe.
You are not, and you are not above the law.
Have a good day.
Have a good day,
And
sir.
you are not above the law.
Have a good day.
What is it with you guys in this blue line thing, man? You stick to it.
Okay, sir.
If you're wrong, you're
Have a nice
wrong.
day, sir.
Listen, apologize, man up, and be like, you know what? I'm blocking it.
Why am I apologizing?
Tonight we have surveillance pictures of a state police officer in uniform having sex with a woman on the hood of a car in broad daylight.
Now, state police aren't saying anything about the photos, but this is certainly not what you would expect to see a uniformed officer doing, so we are pressing for answers.
Eddie Garcia went to find out what other New Mexicans think about the pictures. He joins us live. Eddie.
Now, we held off showing the photo earlier newscasts because children are still awake during those hours, and even though it's later in the night, we still want to warn you, some parents might find this image objectionable. 2 weeks ago, KOB Eyewitness News 4 told you about an officer caught on camera having sex while in full uniform, an act shown here on security camera at the Santa Fe Canyon Ranch. We've blurred out the woman's image, but you can see it's during the daylight hours and the officer is still wearing his utility belt. Today, the sheriff's office released the pictures to us after we filed a public records request. They also gave them to state police over a week ago. This evening, people are reacting to the pictures.
It's an inappropriate use of time.
Appropriate use of our tax money, if I had to say. I mean, we pay these guys.
But with that kind of judgment, you don't want him carrying a weapon.
Albert Loma says if charged and found guilty, the officer should be fired.
Yeah, I think it's an embarrassment to the State Patrol. They should be ashamed.
Others say it hurts the reputation built by good officers.
I expect them to be the mark. State police should be the standard to which other police departments hold themselves to.
We're working to find out who was on shift at the time these pictures were recorded. Right now, state police will not comment about the pictures or any internal investigation against an officer. State police turned down an on-camera interview today, saying they need more time to gather the information that we're asking for. So far, no officer is facing charges. Back to you.
Video shows Superior Police Sergeant Anthony Duran switching on his department-issued body camera and angling it toward himself. The video shows him wearing his uniform, sitting at his desk, having sex with a woman. A report from the Pinal County Sheriff's Office reveals that video saved in a folder on Duran's desktop titled Fun Time, alongside 36 gigabytes of more pornographic videos, as well as nude photos Duran appeared to take of himself. Investigators also discovering naked pictures of an underage girl in the same folder. The sergeant, viewing the images, writing in his report, the images and the fact they were intersected with pictures of sexual situations caused me to physically react with shaking hands and upset stomach. PCSO later discovering the images are of Duran's daughter. The Pinal County Attorney's Office not charging Duran with a crime, but the report concluding there is suspicion that some grooming behavior may be present. 12 News learning Duran previously worked for the Pima County Sheriff's Department, which also conducted an internal investigation. In that case, Duran, accused of having inappropriate contact with a woman while on duty in his uniform in his patrol car. Duran's peace officer certification then suspended for 6 months in July of 2013.
Going on about her sovereign status. And that was in 3 of 11.
Monday night, some heard more than just your typical police traffic blaring across the scanner.
I think that's ridiculous. Wow.
Police officers having sex in their car on duty. What do you think?
That's just nasty, really.
Oh, no, I think that's despicable. It's called having sex on duty?
Yes, he was. Multiple sources say a Mount Moriah precinct officer's microphone was transmitting while he had sex in his squad car Monday night. He was on duty.
That is totally unacceptable. For Memphis Finance, we respect the police department, and they should respect us as well.
I mean, we paid all these money for these cars, all these charges and everything, and all they do is want to have sex in the car.
My source says when the officer's sexcapade was broadcast, it could be heard over the radio by every officer in the Mount Moriah precinct or by anyone who had a police scanner or a police scanner app on their cell phone.
Police have been caught in the act before. In August, a New Mexico State police officer was caught on surveillance camera having sex on the hood of a car. He was on duty, in uniform, and was later fired. Taxpayers footing the bill for this kind of activity aren't happy.
Our officers you're on duty having sex, and you're supposed to be patrolling and protecting our city. That's bad.
I think it's good that everybody heard it so he can get caught.
That's disrespecting, the police department and the citizens as well in a squad car, because that's city property. So I think both should be held accountable.
No, you don't. For what? I'm not a professional. I don't care.
Videotape that shit. Videotape that shit. Everybody.
Yeah, no right to saying it. No. I ain't resisting.
We're watching you.
Dummy. Dummy.
You guys
Not a
on video. He has one fight.
No, when it was over Jaguar. I walked in the store.
Hi, how you doing? Officer Conway, how you doing today?
Do you have a name?
I do have a name.
An ID that I can see.
Am I being detained?
You're a witness to this.
I am a witness.
Yes.
So are you obligating me to give you my personal
I'm
information?
requesting your ID. Are you going to give me your ID?
No, I'm not.
Did you witness the whole thing? Yeah. Oh, he's got it all on video. Awesome.
That's not correct. Officer Conway did not arrive until after the incident had been underway, and neither did I.
And I've been advised by another officer. You have this on video. And she's advised us as well. So,
okay. Well, you can
have your ID.
I do have an ID.
I can send you a subpoena for your video.
You can subpoena it if you serve me properly with a subpoena.
That's great.
Where's
I
the
need
subpoena?
to know who to serve. So I need your ID.
Great. Okay. Well, that's great. I'm not going to give you. No.
I need to get your ID.
No, I don't want to give you my ID.
You have the evidence of what happened here.
I don't. I don't have to give you my ID.
You mind if I review the footage?
I do. It's my photo. I don't consent to a search.
I'm trying to search.
Well, I am not consenting to give you possession of my cell phone.
That's the evidence of what happened here.
That's not your evidence. It's my evidence.
What is your name?
I'm not telling you my name.
Okay, you're standing.
Are you detaining me or arresting me?
Is 709. We're at O'Farrell and Jones
Correct.
Street. Okay.
Yeah, I'm on my way to meet a friend. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me.
You want me to start with you? Put that on there.
Right there. Great. But don't touch me without my consent.
This gentleman has evidence to the proceedings that happened here with the fight with the officer. I'm going to attempt to try to get his information because he obtains evidence regarding this case. At this point, it would be an obstruction of justice if you obtain.
You're going to charge me?
It's an obstruction of justice if you have evidence, yes.
Okay, go ahead and charge me.
I just need to see your ID.
Why? I don't want to tell you my name. You guys are mistreating everybody. Why am I going to give you my name the way you treat people?
Did you hear me tell him to stop resisting?
Yes, on the video.
Fantastic.
I did.
A copy of the video.
No.
So you have evidence on your phone that I can't have?
Yeah. You can give me a subpoena.
Seize his phone, get his ID.
Give me a subpoena.
Sir. Cool.
Yes.
I would like a copy of your identification so that I may note it in the incident report regarding this incident.
You can note it in the incident report, but I don't have to give you my name.
How am I supposed to give you a subpoena that you've asked for if I don't have your name?
I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know.
Would you like me to issue you a citation for obstruction?
Let me ask you a question. Am I free to go?
No.
You're detaining me on what basis?
Now you're detaining obstruction.
On what? I'm not obstructing justice. I'm not getting in the way. No. What you're doing is intimidating citizens from monitoring your behavior. Okay?
You're not saying you can't record.
Okay.
You're requesting the evidence.
So why am I not free to go? Why am I not free to go?
Withholding evidence.
I'm not withholding any evidence. There's video cameras all around here. You're not going to let me go?
Sir. Stop yelling. I want to talk to you.
Okay, let's talk.
Okay.
I'm talking to you.
Great.
Am I free to go?
Can you stop interrupting? I already answered your question.
Why have I been detained?
You want a subpoena, right?
I want to go meet my friend at the bar where I was on my way to. What I want to do is know why I'm detained.
So you don't want to subpoena?
Why have I been detained, officer?
You want it's
Officer King. Right, why have I been detained, Officer King? Why?
Because you said that
why
you
have I
want a
been
subpoena?
No. If you're trying to hold me here against my will, yeah, give me a subpoena.
I would like your identification so we may note it in the incident report. If you feel that there's something untoward here, you should be in the incident report.
I don't know what happened here. I feel that what's being untoward is my detention.
People.
Well, if you're not letting me go, why can't I go? I have no idea what happened. I didn't see how it started. I walked up, I took out my phone like a lot of other people, and now you're telling me I'm detained. I have a friend waiting for me over there. I'd like to go meet her.
But you don't want to provide your...
I don't want to participate in any kind of police prosecution, no.
We don't prosecute, sir. That's the district attorney's
office. Whatever. I don't want to participate. I want to go meet my friend.
That's cool.
That's all I want to do. But you're telling me I'm detained. On what basis? On what basis am I detained?
You said that you wanted a subpoena.
If you want to subpoena me, you subpoena me. I'm not going to consent to a search of my phone, nor am I going to stay here unless you tell me that I have to. Well, you all are telling, you're surrounding me, and I do not feel that I'm free to go right now. If you're telling me I'm not free to go, I can't leave. If I am free to go, then I'm leaving. I'm going to cross the street because I have the light. Am I free to go?
Just give me one more second.
Okay, I'm going to walk away. I have the light. Thank you. Have a good night. Yeah.
Thank you.
This video documents a February 20, 2010 incident in which Sergeant Joseph Blickley and another Bensalem police officer were summoned to the Philadelphia Gun Club by club members during a cruel and illegal live pigeon shoot. Sergeant Blickley, a supervisor, repeatedly misrepresents the law and attempts to harass and intimidate two women. Unfortunately for Sergeant Blickley, one of his targets is Philadelphia attorney Marianne Bessie, who with her friend Valerie Trevino has more guts than the entire membership of the Philadelphia Gun Club combined.
So we would appreciate it if you would leave. You are on private property. Thank you.
Okay. Do you have the audio on those cameras?
Yes.
Okay. Would you mind turning the audio off?
No, I don't need to.
Okay.
You know, do I have to repeat what I just said?
Well, I
to this
think
young
this
lady?
is public access here.
Well, you're on private property and you're past
Well, I think
that
it's
point.
public. Well, I think this is
I think
public
you're past-
access.
Miss, it is a safety.
You understand you have every right to protest, but you can't be on their property without their consent.
Okay.
You can be on public property. You can be on the roadway where it does not impede traffic, but they have the right to ask you to leave the property.
Okay. Well, there is public access along here, so it goes to a certain point. So I think we're within that point.
Well, you are understanding that you're creating a safety hazard here.
No, I don't think we are.
Well, I am telling you that you are.
Well, what basis do you have for that? Because I'm telling you
you're
we're not.
in the roadway right now, creating a
Well,
safety
so
hazard
are you.
for people who come in.
So are the police
Because
officers.
you're here, I have to be here.
Well, I think we're standing by the side of the road. We were not in the road. We were always within the public access area.
You know exactly where your property limits are, and we'll ask them to stay outside that.
Technically, we are responsible up to the roadway.
Okay.
Well,
Now,
technically.
In his effort to stop the documentation, the supervisor grossly mischaracterizes the Pennsylvania wiretap law.
Certainly.
Okay, and I'm going to ask you to turn the audio and the cameras off because it's illegal in Pennsylvania.
It's not illegal.
Yes, it is, miss.
I'm sorry. It's not illegal.
Ma'am, you can videotape me, but I'm asking you not to audio tape without my consent. Can
Okay.
you please do that?
Well, I understand what you're saying. I do.
Okay.
I understand what you're saying.
Okay, there's no audio? No.
There is audio on mine, and I'm a lawyer, and I know what the law is.
So you know about
I'll take the
wiretap
risk. You
laws,
can
is that
take me to
correct?
court.
Is that, you know about the
I do.
wiretap laws?
Okay, well, I'm not going to get into that here. Do you have identification, please?
I don't on me, no.
You don't have
No,
identification?
I don't have identification on me, no.
Okay, you have no idea
On me, no.
Okay, can I have your name, address,
Sure.
and birthday, please?
What do you need it for? Am I going to be arrested?
When we get a call, we have to take a police report that we get a call.
Okay.
That's all.
What do you need my ID for? Why do you need my name?
We're here on a police call. We're having contact with you, and we're going to identify you and name you on our police report. That's what we do.
Okay, well, I'd rather not give you my name.
Okay. Why would that be?
Because I don't think I'm doing anything illegal. I don't think I'm under suspicion of anything.
Okay.
Why do I need my name?
You just told me that you're audio taping us, and I asked you not to do that under Pennsylvania wiretap laws.
Okay.
Okay. She told me she's not audio taping. Audio taping. I have no problem with that. I'm asking you to do the same thing.
Okay, can we get a supervisor here? Because
I am one. That's
Okay,
why I'm here.
how about you? Above you?
That's not possible right now.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to take me into custody because of suspicion of violation of the wiretap law?
Did I ever say that? I asked for
Well,
your
you asked for my ID, so I'm under suspicion for something, and you said the wiretap law. So what? Okay. But you said the reason that you wanted my name and not hers was because of the wiretap law. And Val, please keep videotaping the people who come in.
Okay, you asked why we need your name and your
Yeah,
information. Did I
right.
ever say that I'm going to take you into custody?
Well, you said that you needed it for the wiretap law. You said you think I'm in violation of the wiretap law, so I'm assuming that you're going to do something about that. That's why you need my name.
But I never said I was taking you into custody.
Okay, well then I don't think I need to give you my name.
Every police call that we go on, we identify who we talk to, who called the police, who we're talking to,
Well,
and they go in the police report.
Unless I'm under suspicion for something, I don't think I'm required to give you my name. I don't think I am. If you say I'm under suspicion for violation of the federal wiretap law or the Pennsylvania wiretap law, that's why you need my name, I'll give you my name.
I kindly asked you to stop audio taping. That's all I did.
Okay, you did.
Okay.
Yeah, and I said that I understand I'm a lawyer,
Okay.
well versed in the law. I've prosecuted cases under the federal and the Pennsylvania state wiretapping law. I know that this is legal.
Okay.
So, you're telling me you don't think it is, and you want my name to fill out in your report because you think I'm violating the wiretapping law. That doesn't make sense to me. Because if you think I'm in violation of a crime, wouldn't you want to take me into custody and get all my information?
I never said that.
Okay, well then I'm not in violation of a crime?
I asked you to stop audio taping.
Right.
I said in Pennsylvania we have wiretapping laws. It's
Right.
not legal to audio tape someone without their consent.
You refused. I asked you for your information. I never said anything about taking you into custody.
Okay. Well, I don't think I'm violating.
Okay.
This is public property. This is public access.
Well, I don't know that you're on public property right now.
Well, I know that we are. I've looked into it. We've done this before. We've been here many, many weeks. We stand in the public access area.
Okay.
So.
Okay. Do you know for a fact that right now you're on public property?
Well, because we stood, I mean, now I think we're in the driveway because we're talking to you.
Well,
but where we were standing.
If you're not sure either, how could you say that we're in violation?
I don't know. I do not.
Then,
right.
If
then
no
why
one
are
knows,
you?
then somebody needs to find out, and it probably would be more of your responsibility being you're in the law.
They could sue. Okay, here's what we're going to do.
Okay.
We cannot have you stand in the driveway here.
Okay.
On this side of State Road where this is plowed because they've maintained it and they don't want you in the driveway.
Okay.
If you want to stand on the other side of these snow banks, you can do that, okay? We're going to find out through the township exactly where their property line is, but for right now, we're going to ask you not to impede their traffic and not to stand in this driveway. If you want to stand on the other side of State Road, I can't tell you to stand on someone's private property. If you want to stand anywhere that's public property, you can do that. We don't know exactly how far their private property goes to State Road or what's considered public access because there is no sidewalk here under the snow. But what they're asking is you don't stand on this plowed driveway and you stand on the other side of these snowbanks.
Okay.
Meaning, what was that?
Okay.
Okay, let me finish. What will happen if we don't move?
If this is private property and you don't move, you could be cited for trespassing.
I'm asking you, what will happen now today if we don't move right now?
If you don't move
before you find out what.
Yeah, like right now you're taking his word for it and maintain, and your understanding of law is that because they maintain this driveway, we have to go, certain distance from it, from the snow. I'm asking you, what will you do if we don't move?
I will go to the township. I will find out exactly where their legal property line is, and if law enforcement action has to be taken or citations have to be issued, that'll be done. What the question is right now.
This is the same Bensalem Police Department that has refused to bring charges against Philadelphia Gun Club members for multiple violations of law and documented criminal behavior, including assault, the intentional obstruction of license plates, obscenities, reckless driving, and knowingly shooting on a person legally positioned on a public waterway. In fact, the shooting incident happened on the very day it is the incident you are looking at. The police were quick to respond to the gun club's shotgun-wielding members' call about two women armed only with video cameras standing on the public way. But Shark's call to the same police department about shots fired on their boat was completely ignored. But wait, there's more. Watch what happens when the officers told about a Mercedes SUV owned by the gun club's secretary barely missing a woman earlier in the day.
Officer, while you're here, we got somebody on videotape who almost sideswiped me deliberately. He actually went into the snow trying to hit me when I was off the road. Well, I'll have to look at the video to see what I captured because I won't make a report unless I actually got his information.
All right. I can assure you no one has given these people any reason to be unsafe. We would not do something like that.
Well, videotape doesn't lie.
We are being as courteous to you as we possibly can.
Video doesn't lie, so we'll see.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, it does? Okay.
This gun club member's self-serving assurances to the contrary, the incident did indeed happen.
Oh, he's trying to get me. Ooh. Yeah, he did. Did you see that? Be careful, Val.
Predictably, the Bensalem police have taken no action whatsoever against those responsible.
Wow.
I'm sorry, what did that club member say again?
We are being as courteous to you as we possibly can.
Let's see another example of club courtesy the very same day.
Go fuck yourself, you rotten cunt.
That club member, who we call the Mummy, perfectly displays that signature Philadelphia Gun Club courtesy. You can see much, much more of the outrageous behavior of Philadelphia Gun Club members and the accompanying incompetence and/or corruption of the Bensalem Police and the Bucks County District Attorney's Office at bensalemcorruption.com and buckscountycorruption.com. This is Steve Hindy for Showing Animals Respect and Kindness.
Hey everyone, Tamaki Valley Transparency. Here's another channel that I want to highlight. This one is called Granite State Transparency. She's from New Hampshire. She's been very supportive on my channel for a long time. She said that she's been empowered to pick up a camera and record her officials. So I think she's absolutely wonderful and outstanding, very smart. You guys please watch, pay attention. She's gonna bring a lot to the table. I just know right away, just from watching and listening to her speak to these guys, it's gonna be wonderful. Go subscribe to her channel, give her some support and some love, and let's all wait together for her future videos. Thank you guys.
Hey, go. I'll take you.
Sorry? Sorry, I can't hear you.
This is a federal facility. You can't take a picture of a federal facility, ma'am.
Is that a law?
Yes, it is, ma'am.
What law is that?
I just told you what it was. It's a federal law. Do you have an ID on you?
Why do I need an ID? Are you a law enforcement officer?
What do I look like?
You look like a security guard.
Oh, okay. Is that what you think? All right, I'll have the police right here in a minute. You know it's a felony, right?
It's a felony? Uh-oh. I guess I'm in trouble. And then he said he would call the police. So I just figured I'd stick around. I didn't want to waste your time, you know, driving around looking for me.
What's the purpose of your recording?
For public use, for public publishment.
What are you recording specifically?
The FAA.
What about that?
Just public interest.
What kind of public interest?
Well, it's the FAA.
So it's obviously a secure facility, and you know with global and domestic international terrorism, you know what kind of concern your behavior might elicit, okay?
I understand that's probably why
we need to make sure that you're not trying to record FAA patterns in terms of who's coming in or out of the facility and that kind of stuff. It's security issues, okay? So that's why they're stopping you.
I understand that's...
So if you can justify to me that you're legitimately recording for public use, I don't know what public, I mean, are you part of a blog or what?
Well, I understand that's probably why he's concerned. May I ask you this? Sure. Are you aware of the 2010 or 2018 DHS memo that makes it perfectly legal for any photographer to video record or photograph a federal facility from a public spot?
No, can you show that to me?
I don't have a copy of it with me. You can do a Google search.
So are you just out here to kind of prove that point, or are you out here for a legitimate purpose? I don't really understand what you're doing, okay? Because I told you I don't want you monitoring traffic patterns coming in and out of the FAA. Hold on, let me finish, okay?
Sure.
Let me finish, okay? And I get that.
Okay, go ahead.
But I'm not just a person with a gun.
May I ask you a question?
Sure.
Am I breaking any laws?
I'm out here because this is suspicious and is causing alarm to the people inside the facility.
May I also say that it is not your concern what my business is for photographing. Okay. It is none of your business what I am doing in public as long as it's a lawful act.
Okay. I understand what you're trying to do out here today, and I can appreciate that, all right? The issue is, it is my job, and it is my concern, because I need to maintain the safety of the facility. It's an FAA facility. You're aware of that. You're aware that it's a secure facility, okay? So that is my job, because you and I both know, and I'll just be blunt about it, okay? Terrorism.
Terrorism. Terrorism. Terrorism. Terrorism.
Terrorism, okay? It's a huge thing. It's a huge issue these days, okay? And you out here... Hold on, no, I let you finish.
Well, let me interject, because when was the last time that we were attacked by a terrorist attack?
I could go check dates, okay?
Well, when you do that, go check the 2018 DHS memo that says you must approach me in a polite and respectful manner, and the act of photography is not a reason to initiate a if you will, a Terry interview. You can.
It is.
No, it is not. It
So here's the
clearly
deal, okay?
states you can initiate a consensual conversation,
Which I did.
and I can walk away at any point.
Well, no, now you're being detained because I need to dispel my concern about what you're doing here.
Why am I being detained, sir?
Suspicious activity.
Photography cannot be used.
You and I are going to go around in a circle.
No,
okay?
sir. Please let me finish.
I have your ID?
I don't have an ID.
You don't have an ID?
No.
Okay. Can
May
you
I-
give me your name?
No.
You're not going to give me your name?
No, because photography cannot be used.
Are you from around here?
Sir.
Yeah.
Are you a sergeant, sir?
No.
Could I please request a sergeant, because with all due respect, you are incorrect.
I'm not.
Yes, sir.
No. What am I incorrect about?
About the fact that photography can be used as suspicion of a crime.
So here's the deal, all right? I don't know what you're
It's
telling
none
me.
of your business what I'm doing.
It is. Okay.
I'm in public photographing.
Yep.
I've told you I'm an independent journalist. I am photographing.
Do you have any documentation? Do you have anything that you can
I don't
show me
need
that
to.
proves? You don't need to. You do.
No, I don't.
You do.
The First Amendment says I don't, sir.
Perfect. Just sit here, okay? I'm going to talk to this officer.
Am I being detained?
Yes, you are. Yep.
For what crime?
I told you suspicious activity. I need to dispel my
What is
concerns
this suspicious activity?
I already told you. You're
Could you-
here. Are you going to let me talk without interjecting? Come on over here. We'll go to the front of the car right here.
I don't want to trespass, sir.
Nope, you're with a police officer.
I don't want to
You don't want-
trespass.
Okay. So you're gonna make my life hard by having to hold the book up here, huh?
Sir,
It was a joke.
you just threatened me with criminal trespass. I do not want
Police
to
and Parole,
joke.
Nashville Dispatch.
It wasn't a threat. I don't threat. I'm just stating what the
So
law
I'm
is.
gonna stop the video here so you guys can actually go to her channel and watch the video, the full video there, and subscribe and watch her other videos as well. She's doing very good. You can tell she's done her homework and she's paid attention. She's watched our videos, and I think she's gonna do very, very well. So you guys go to her channel, go subscribe. I'll put the link in the description, and you guys show her some love, man. Let her know in the comment section. Give her advice as well.
So I was told to stop. Am I required to stop?
I can't hear you. What's that?
I was told to stop up here.
Your exhaust is a little loud. I can't hear you.
I was told to stop up here.
Oh, okay. Where are you coming from?
Am I being detained?
I'm sorry?
Am I being detained?
For what?
Am I being detained?
Not that I know of.
Am I under arrest?
I don't believe so.
So I'm free to go then.
Just want to get some info. How come your truck's loud?
Am I free to go?
How come your truck's loud?
You said that I'm not being detained and I'm not under arrest.
Correct.
So I'm free to go.
You are not.
I'm not being detained and I'm not under arrest.
Correct.
So I'm free to go.
You are not.
I'm not answering your question. Am I free to go?
Why is your exhaust loud?
Am I free to go?
Is it modified?
Am I free to go?
Now you can pull off over here.
Am I
okay?
being detained or
Pull off over
arrested?
here.
Am I being detained or
Pull off over
arrested?
here. I'm not going to ask you again.
Now you see how it goes.
Broken, or you have a muffler on it, or what?
Can I get your name and badge number?
ULO State Police Lehighton badge 12126. Employee number.
Badge 12126.
Yes, sir. Is your exhaust broken, or you have?
Am I being detained?
Is your exhaust...
Am I being detained?
Really?
Am I being detained? Am I being detained?
Driver's license, registration, insurance.
Am I being detained?
As of now, yes. Now we're
For
on a
what?
traffic stop.
For what?
Your exhaust.
My exhaust.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what code? What code is my exhaust?
Modified exhaust.
All right. Modified. OEM is modified.
Maybe it's broken.
Well, you seem to be a mechanic. Here's all my identifications.
Thank you, sir. Who's the passenger with you? Is that your girlfriend?
It's none of your business.
I'm sorry?
It's none of your business.
Okay, is she wanted?
It's none of your business.
How do I know she's not wanted?
You don't.
I don't, exactly.
Has she committed a crime?
How do I know she's not wanted?
Has she committed a crime?
Would you like to give us your name?
Don't. Has she committed a crime?
I'm not asking you, I'm asking her.
Ask him. Have you committed a crime?
Have I committed a crime, officer?
Are you, do you have a warrant?
No.
How do I know that?
Do I look like I'm in any wanted paper?
Do you have a warrant?
I don't even know her name. How would I know if I have a warrant?
No, do you, sir, have a warrant?
For me?
Yeah.
I would hope not.
How do I know that?
Ma'am, you gonna give me your name or no?
She's not required to. She hasn't broken any laws, and you have no reason to believe that she has.
Okay. I just want to make sure she's not wanted. Do you understand or no?
Okay, I want to make sure you're not wanted.
Okay. All right. Sit tight. Did that trooper stop you earlier?
Which trooper?
Any of them. Were you stopped earlier today? Did you have, let me rephrase. Did you have interaction with anybody here today already? As in, did you already give your license to somebody?
I don't have to answer that.
Well, the reason I'm asking is because they're telling me that they stopped you already.
Okay, what does that have to do with anything?
I just want to ask if you were stopped already, that's all. Because if they let you go, then I have no reason to keep you here. That's why I'm just asking if they stopped you already.
I mean, if they told you, why would you have any reason not to believe them? If they already told you that, why wouldn't you believe them?
Just asking you, that's all. I'll take that as a yes.
You can take that as me exercising my Fifth Amendment.
I'll take that as a yes, that you were already stopped and you had interaction with the troopers already today,
You can take it however you'd like.
Okay. Your inspection's up in June. I take it the inspection mechanic's going to go over your exhaust, right?
Yes.
If there's a problem with it, obviously it's got to get fixed, so you get a new inspection.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Here's your stuff.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Making all kinds of friends today.
If you want my name, I'll give you everything. Who are you?
I don't need to provide that.
Yes, you do.
No, I don't.
If I'm asking you who you are and why you're videotaping our facility, you have to provide me with some kind of identification. So do you have any identification?
To require identification under the law, you need to be able to articulate a crime that I'm about to commit or I have committed.
Okay. You're going around, you're videotaping our state police facility for no apparent reason, and if I'm asking you who you are, you have to provide me with identification.
I don't have to, no.
It's just like anything else.
No, it's not.
Yes, you do.
I don't.
Yes, you do.
In fact, your public information officer already has dealt with this here, and so has a few other officers, so...
I don't care who's dealt with it. I'm asking you for identification because I want to know who you are right now. Well, and I want to know what your reason is for videotaping our facility.
Well, first of all, Supreme Court has covered that filming out in public is perfectly legal.
I don't care what the
And that is not a suspicion of crime, so therefore you have no suspicion of crime.
Listen, you can cite whatever you want.
Right.
Why are you videotaping? That's what I'm asking right now.
I don't have to answer that.
Well, I want to see a form of identification, identifying who you are, why you're outside my facility right now videotaping us.
I don't have to provide that either.
Why not? Why do you feel that you do not have to perform any form of
Because that's the law.
No, it's not. If
yes,
you're out here and I want to know why you're videotaping our facility and you have to provide me some form of identification, you just can't come and walk away anytime you want and just come up with your things and fly them over our lot. I want to know who you are and why you're videotaping this right now.
You probably want to get a supervisor or somebody higher up.
Sure, here's my sergeant. He's coming out right now.
Well, and he'll tell you.
Okay, no problem. Hey, Len. He was flying the drone out in front, videotaping. All I'm doing is asking for a form of identification so we can identify who he is. He's refusing.
Go to your first sergeant. Not a problem. Not a problem.
He can videotape as much as he wants. We don't have to get any form of identification.
He can videotape. Not a problem.
All right.
Okay. So you were wrong?
Huh?
You were wrong?
According to my sergeant, yes, I was.
So you learned something today. That's good.
Okay. Don't worry about it. I'm pretty trusting you. Have a good day.
You hear me?
I can hear you.
Sorry for the inconvenience. Right now with the drones, there's a lot of this. I said sorry for the inconvenience. Right now with the drones, there's a lot of, I guess you could say, I wouldn't say misinformation, but it's an area that we're not used to dealing with. All right?
Well, that's apparent. I've dealt with your troopers already on this.
Yeah, I'm sure you have it. Not a problem. That's why I came out here. I saw that he was talking to you, so.
You probably should educate them a little bit more on it. It's going to be a more...
It's kind of an area that's new to everybody, and until they have legislation on it,
which there is none.
Right, right. So sorry for the inconvenience, okay?
Alrighty, have a good one.
How are you?
Not bad.
Just so I can concentrate on what you're saying.
Yep.
I'm just gonna.
Okay, I don't consent to any searches. I just want to make that clear.
I'm not gonna search you.
I don't consent to any seizures either.
Okay. I'm just gonna hold this so I can have a conversation with you.
Okay. What crime am I suspected of committing? And you just pointed that gun at me when it was loaded, just so you know. You twisted it, pointed it right at me. Before you wrecked the slide, you pointed it right at my legs.
People are calling about a guy walking around with a gun, so.
Okay. That's not illegal. Can I have my gun back and get moving along?
Need your ID, and then we'll get you on your way.
What crime do you suspect me of committing?
Like I said, people are starting to call about a guy carrying a gun.
Yep, that's a report of illegal activity. What crime do you suspect me of committing? In order to stop me, you have to suspect me of a crime. Can you get your supervisor here?
He is on the way.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, well, like I said, people are concerned. It's a public safety issue. So I'm here to make sure everyone's all set. You make sure you're all set. Okay, so I just need to get your ID, and then we'll call it good.
No, sir.
You're not going to give me your ID.
Unless you are issuing me a summons as 17A, 15A
I need to make sure
requires, then...
Can you let me speak for a second?
Yep.
I need to make sure you're not a felon to carry this.
Do you suspect me of being a felon?
I don't know you. So
okay, if you don't suspect me of being a felon, then I would like my gun back and I would like to proceed on my way.
In order to carry a gun, you're not allowed to be a felon.
Correct, but unless you suspect me of being a felon, there's no reason for you to stop me.
There is a reason to stop you.
Unless you suspect me of a crime, as Terry v. Ohio, Delaware v. Prowse, requires you to have a suspicion of crime before you detain an individual. Brown v. Texas does not allow you to stop an individual and demand their ID.
Can I get your first name so I can speak to you on a person-to-person basis here?
No.
You're not going to give me your
Nope,
name.
I'm not
You're
going to.
be that type of guy when I'm trying to have a conversation.
I'm sorry, sir, but for my own protection, I would rather not give you anything because any name I give you is going to go in the police report about this incident.
There's going to be no police report.
There's a police log generated for every call.
This is called a pedestrian trip.
Yep. And unless you have a reasonable suspicion that I'm committing a crime, you can't detain me. I have to be free to leave. It has to be a consensual encounter, sir.
Here's the deal, sir. You are walking down Congress Street carrying a gun.
Yes.
Okay.
Is that illegal?
It's a cause for concern.
Do you suspect me of committing a crime?
Sure.
Do you suspect me of committing a crime, yes or no?
Sure. I need...
Suspenders. Keep my pants up. Yeah, that's the buckle for the suspenders.
This is common practice, dude. Okay?
Yep. It's illegal, common practice.
It's not illegal. We see a guy walking down the street carrying a gun.
Yep. Okay. Is that the only reason why you stopped me?
Yes.
That I'm carrying a gun?
Yes.
Okay. In that case, I want you to refer you to DeBerry v. U.S. DeBerry v. U.S. says that a firearm, where legally carried, cannot be the only cause for reasonable suspicion for a stop.
Yep.
Am I free to go?
You are.
Okay. Can I have my gun back?
Sure.
Thank you.
You have your ID with you?
What's that?
Your ID?
For what?
Traffic violation on a bicycle.
Okay, well, I don't have my ID on me.
Okay. Can you get off your bike?
I'd rather just say, how are you going to write me a ticket? I can just give you my name.
I need to see your ID.
Well, I'm not required to have an ID.
I'm sorry?
I'm not required to have an ID with me.
You're not. Do you have your ID with you?
Well, I'm not required to have it. Do you want my information?
Do you have your ID with you?
I'm not answering that question. Do you want my information? I'll identify myself to you. I'm not required to have ID on me.
I have no way to verify who you are.
You just said my name when you showed up.
Okay.
So you already know my name. You know who I am.
I do not know who you are.
Then why'd you say my name?
I've never met you before.
You realize my camera's picked up you when you said hi.
Yeah. I know your name. I've never met you before.
Okay, well...
I mean, I know you.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I'll give you my information. You can write me a ticket if you want.
What's your last name? Your first name?
Oh, look. That's the guy who was shining the spotlight at me. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
Can you get off your bike, please?
I'd rather just stay right here.
You have to get off your bike.
Are you ordering me to?
Yes, I'm ordering you to get off your bike.
Okay.
This is a traffic stop. You're being detained. You're not free to leave.
Oh, I know that.
Okay.
So I don't want to interfere with this, so just go ahead and write me the ticket.
So don't interfere. Don't delay my investigation.
I already told you my name.
Spell your first name. What's your birthday? And do you have a middle name? What's a current address for you? And what city is that in?
This is like a wet dream for the police to be able to give me a ticket. That's in the city of Torrance, but you guys already know all that. It's funny how you're pretending you don't know me when you call me by my name when you first showed up. It's kind of comical.
Well, I'm glad you're humorous. What's the zip code over there?
90505, but you already know that. What's your name?
Mike Snakenberg.
What was that?
What's your height and weight?
Not giving any of that.
Yeah, you are.
No, I don't have to. I'm not required by law.
Do you have ID with you?
I already told you I'm not answering that question.
Number?
I already told you I'm not required to have a driver's license on me when I'm riding a bicycle.
Do you know what your driver's license number is?
I probably do.
Okay. You gonna provide that for me?
Am I required by law to provide that?
Well, I got to be able to verify who you are.
You already know who I am. If you need a thumbprint, I'll give you a thumbprint.
Okay, you asked me a question. I'm answering your question.
Okay.
Okay. I've never met you before.
Okay.
I don't know who you are. Okay.
But you did call me by my name.
I don't know who you are.
Okay.
Okay. You can keep interrupting me and over speaking with me. That's fine.
I already told you I'll give you a thumbprint if you want. That's all I need.
Thumbprint on what?
If you're having a problem verifying who I am, I'll give you a thumbprint as required by law.
Or I can arrest you and take you to jail.
For what?
For not having your ID with you.
I'm not required to have an ID on me as riding a bicycle. No. What law says I have to have an ID on me when I'm riding a bicycle?
I'll let you look that up after we're done here.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay. Okay, this officer thinks in the state of California you're required to have a driver's license when you're riding a bicycle. That's absolutely not true.
So are you asking me a question?
No, I'm narrating into my camera.
Okay. All right, just sit tight over it with you, okay?
Okay.
Yep, no problem.
Are you familiar with California law about riding a bicycle and need a driver's license? Do you know that law? Do you know in the state of California, do you need a driver's license to ride a bicycle? Can you answer? What's your name? How come you were shining that spotlight at me at that last stop? Will you identify yourself to me?
No.
Can I get your name and badge number?
No.
No? Well, then what was with the attitude when you first showed up?
That's how I am.
In the state of California, if you don't have what they call satisfactory identification, the police can require a thumbprint. Listen to all this because this is the law. The police can require a thumbprint. If you fail to provide a thumbprint, then you can be taken into custody until you're ID'd. Not arrested, just until you're ID'd.
All right, Mr. It's a citation for not stopping at a red light. This is a promise to appear in court. You're not admitting guilt. Sign here in the red box.
Okay. Do you mind if I just take a second to look over this and read it?
Go ahead.
Okay. And is your vehicle equipped with a dash cam?
Go ahead and read.
I am reading. I'm reading at the same time I'm asking. Is your vehicle equipped with a dash cam?
I don't understand your question.
You don't. Is your vehicle equipped
This
with a
car
dash
right
cam?
here?
Yeah.
The city car?
Yeah.
No.
No. Okay.
No dash cam on that
No
car.
dash cam. You have a body camera on now. And your name was? Schenkenborg. Okay. And what was the citation for?
Red light violation.
Red light. Okay. Is this all that's on here? Is there stuff on the back? There's nothing on the back. And that's why you pulled me over?
Yes.
Okay. And you observed this? You're the one writing the ticket?
That's what it says.
Well, it doesn't say that you observed, it just says you're writing the ticket. I'm just asking if you're the one that observed the alleged violation.
You gonna sign the ticket?
Yeah, I'm signing it. I'm just wondering if you're the one that...
Okay, I'm not gonna discuss the case with you right here. If you want to contest it, you can go to court.
So I just sign right here then?
Sign in the red box.
Okay.
I explain to you. If you want to look up after we leave today, 40302.
Do I need to do anything else?
You can hand me this.
Okay.
Hand me that.
And what did you want me to look up?
40302A, the vehicle code.
Okay. And what does that vehicle code pertain to?
Look it up.
Okay. Did you look up the vehicle?
You need an ID with you when you get stopped by the police.
Okay.
Show evidence of who you are.
Okay. Did you cite me for that?
No.
Would you like to cite me for that?
It's not a citable offense.
It's not? Then why'd you bring it up?
Because you were asking about it. You asked if you needed ID with you when you got stopped.
Okay, well, I didn't give you my ID, so are you citing me for that?
I don't understand your question.
Okay.
You're not making
Do I need ID on me?
Maybe you can't hear me because both your earbuds are plugged in.
Okay, you don't have to be a jerk. I'm trying to be nice with you here.
I'm giving you maybe solutions to why you're not understanding me.
Okay. Do I need a driver's license on me when I ride a bicycle?
You need evidence of who you are if you're going to commit a traffic violation.
What evidence do I need?
A state ID.
When riding a bicycle.
Driver's license.
When I'm riding a bicycle?
Yeah.
Okay, are you
stopped for a violation?
Okay, well I didn't give that to you, so are you going to cite me for that?
No, it's not a citable offense.
Then what would I need it for?
Well, because the next guy may arrest you for it.
Okay, what was the code again? I want to make sure to put this in the.
Look it up later.
Okay, I will. I want to make sure to put that in the video. Part of my job out here is educating you guys in the law, because apparently you don't know. You don't need any identification.
Okay.
You don't need a driver's license or any state issued ID to ride a bicycle. And what rank are you, a sergeant?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, at least my viewers will be educated on the law.
Okay.
So are we done here? Am I free to leave?
I need your thumbprint.
Okay. See, that thumbprint thing was what I was talking about earlier. Apparently you do know it then.
I don't understand your question.
But I'm just wondering,
right thumb?
Since you already wrote me the citation, why would I need a thumbprint now?
Because the thumbprint goes on my copy. It doesn't go on your copy.
Okay, sure. I'll give you a thumbprint. Okay, there's the thumbprint on the video. We got that.
All right, you have any other questions?
Why do you hate me so much?
Don't hate you. Don't even know you.
Except you called me by name when you got out of the car.
Yep. Don't know you though. Never met you. Never had any contact with you.
But you knew my name.
Don't hate you.
So, yeah, you do.
Any other questions? I really don't. No reason to.
But you're going to continue with your story that you don't know me, even though you called me by name when you got out of the vehicle.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Am I being detained? Am I free to go?
You're free to go.
All right. I'm going to make more money on this video than this ticket is worth. Thank you for this stop. I get to educate my viewers, and you just made my night. Thank you. You're free to leave. You're dismissed.
You're free to leave.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Good luck to you.
Good luck to you too.
Yep. All right, we'll see you on the next one.
Okay, so there it is, folks. I got to educate some Redondo Beach police officers. They got to feel good about retaliating against me. They wrote me a ticket. I'll make more money on this video than the price of the ticket. So all's well.
I move like the city. With them skyscrapers stand. I move like the city. With the money rubber band. I move like the city. Where everything's fast. I move like the city. And them car lights fly. I move like the city. With them skyscrapers stand. I move like the city. With the money rubber band. I move like the city. Where everything's fast. I move like the city. And them car lights fly. Hey yo, my neighborhood is like a video set. Cameras move slow when the street get wet. Shake 'em up, roll money down, it's a bet. G's on the set, throw it up right to left. I move like the city, so the streets come with me. Back pocket whiskey, keep me all pissy. Street thoughts got a feeling like a seesaw. Up, down, back up, I need to see more. The lean so mean, the gear all clean. Left arm up, steering the machine. Eyes in the rear view, gotta keep a clear view. When that money talk, the block gonna hear you. Ride with a rider, it'll be die. Every ass a movie, the script got drama. So bricks, your boy.
Good evening, my friends. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Billy Murphy, and we're going to talk about how to deal with the police. I've been a judge, but I'm best known as a criminal defense lawyer. I know how the law works, and I know that for many people, the law sometimes doesn't work. But I'm going to show you how to make the law work for you. I see how the choices my clients make have a massive impact on the outcomes of their police encounters. Even if, and especially if, you've done nothing wrong. There are lots of good police out there doing what needs to be done. And I don't need to tell you that there are also few too many cops who don't respect the basic rights of innocent people. But you don't get to choose who you're dealing with. And even the nicest cop will use your mistakes against you. That's precisely why every citizen, every one of you, must possess the tools to confidently assert your rights if you have to. By the show of hands, who's here because either you, a friend, or a family member has been on the business end of a bad police encounter? Then you're in the right place. Who's got a story they want to share with the class? What's your story?
I got hassled by Highway Patrol the other day.
Tell us about that.
When that money talk, the block gonna hear you. Ride with a rider, it'll be die.
I was ready to explode. This was like the 4th time this year I've been pulled over for nothing.
License and registration? Yeah, I know the drill, man.
Excuse me?
License? Registration.
No need for the attitude there, bro. I'm looking out for your safety and everyone else's on this road.
Whatever, man.
Okay, step out of the vehicle for me. Turn around and put your hands in the air. Turn around and put your hands in the air.
Gosh, man.
Walk forward. Walk forward. Hands on the hood. Hands on the hood of the car. Do it. Spread your legs.
What are you doing, man?
Relax.
I didn't do anything.
Relax.
I didn't do anything.
You got a bad attitude. Now, I pulled you over because you were swerving between lanes. That's all. Now, you got a choice here. If you cooperate, you're going to make things a whole lot easier on yourself. Now, what that means is you got to be straight with me. You understand?
Yeah.
Here's the deal. You don't speak unless I ask a question. You understand?
Yeah.
All right.
That hurts, man. That's too tight.
Relax. You're fine. Now, where are you coming from?
College. I'm coming home from college, man.
You've been having problems with gangs moving guns down this highway. You're not packing any Tech 9s in there, are you?
No, sir.
So you don't mind if I take a look?
Go ahead.
All right, Darren, you just relax. You don't move. All right, stand up. Stand up. Walk back with me. Keep walking. Keep walking.
All right, have a seat. Have a seat, Darren. Now cross your legs. Cross your legs!
And when that cop was done roughing me up, he made me sit there like a dog while he ripped up my car. I've got nothing to hide, but that's disrespectful.
All right, you sit tight.
I sat there forever while he hung out in his car.
All right, Darren, stand up. Stand up. Turn around. This is a citation for excessive lane change. You take care of this as soon as possible. Sign that. Sign it. Here's your copy. Get your my road.
That cop profiled me. It's ridiculous. I go to school. I'm not a gun trafficker.
I know exactly how you feel, man. That's why we're here. It's certainly possible you were profiled, but it's practically impossible to prove that. You never know for sure what's going on in an officer's head. I hate to say it, but from what I hear, it sounds like you broke the first rule of dealing with the police. Always be calm and cool.
Hold up, are you saying that he deserved to get treated like that?
No, what I'm saying is a police encounter is absolutely the worst time and place to vent your frustrations about police. Getting stopped by police is always frustrating and scary, but you could have played it much smarter by being calm and cool. As soon as you opened your mouth, you failed the attitude test.
License and registration?
Yeah, I know the drill, man.
Your attitude only got worse.
Whatever, man.
Don't ever talk back.
Step out of the car.
Don't ever raise your voice. Don't ever use profanity with a police officer. Being hostile with police is stupid and dangerous. You can't win that game on the street where they're the king. Police have a dangerous job. Even the most professional officers might become aggressive if they feel threatened or if their authority is challenged. Always control your words, the tone of your voice, and your body language. If you're visibly scared and angry, it's easy for an officer to get scared and angry too. Things could have turned out way worse than they did.
Now! On your stomach! On your stomach!
Can you think of a better way you could have greeted that officer?
Good evening, officer. How's it going?
That's better. Calm and cool.
Hold on. What's all this polite talk? They don't respect us, so why should we respect them?
For real.
This isn't just about respect, it's about common sense. If you don't check your ego at the door, and you let it take control of you during a police encounter, you'll regret it every time. Following the rules doesn't guarantee that the police will respect your rights, but they can keep you from digging yourself into a deeper hole. Let's talk about what your rights are in the first place. This is the Bill of Rights. These are the first 10 amendments that were added to the U.S. Constitution after it was ratified in 1789. These rights are protected under federal law, which means everything we're talking about today applies in all 50 states. There are 3 amendments in particular that protect your rights during police encounters. The 4th Amendment states that the right of the people to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated. The 5th Amendment states that no person shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. During a police encounter, the smartest way to take the fifth is just to keep your mouth shut, because you always have the right to remain silent. We'll talk in a minute about how this works. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to have the assistance of counsel for his defense. So if the police interrogate or arrest you, asking for a lawyer is a good way to assert your right to remain silent.
Lawyer up.
That's right. Regardless of what you have seen on TV, police don't usually have to read you your rights, even if you're arrested. So it's up to you to make sure that you understand the law and make smart choices. If police flag you down, pull over immediately, turn off your car, and place your hands on the wheel. The police like to see your hands for their own safety, so wait until they request your paperwork before reaching for it. At night, it's also a good idea to turn on the interior light so that the officer can see you're not armed. Darren, do you see any ways you could have handled yourself better?
Good evening, officer. How's it going?
Did you know you were swerving between lanes?
No, officer.
Let me see your license and registration.
Sure. My license. Here's my registration.
Now, Darren, we've had some problems with gangs moving guns down this highway. You're not packing any Tech 9s, are you?
No, sir.
I didn't think so. So you don't mind if I take a look, do you?
Officer, I know you're just doing your job. I don't have any guns or whatever, but I don't consent to searches.
Perfect. Rule number 3. You have the right to refuse searches. This comes directly from the 4th Amendment. For your 4th Amendment protection to legally apply, you must be prepared to clearly state your refusal under pressure. Everyone, repeat after me. I don't consent to searches.
I don't consent to searches.
The officers can't hear you, so say it again.
I don't consent to searches.
One more time.
I don't consent to searches.
You a law student or something?
So if I show that I know the rules, he might think I'm a law student. Or maybe I got big legal connections.
Perhaps. But don't get carried away by saying stuff like,
I know my rights, get out of my face. I'ma sue you.
Never tell the officer you know your rights. Show the officer you know your rights by asserting them calmly.
You seem nervous. Is there anything in this car I need to know about?
No, officer.
All right. Please step out of the vehicle.
Police may legally order you out of your vehicle, so you should comply.
Walk back here with me. Stand right here for me. Now, you got 2 choices. You can make this better or worse for yourself. Now, if you cooperate, it's going to make things a lot easier on you.
Beware that the police may legally lie to you, so never let false threats or promises trick you into waiving your rights.
Now, if you don't, I'm going to call up a K9 unit, and those dogs are going to rip apart your car, and they're going to find what you're hiding. So what's it going to be?
Refusing a search request is not evidence of guilt and doesn't give the officer the legal right to search or detain you. Don't get tricked. Unless you're detained or arrested, you may terminate the encounter at any time, but don't wait for the officer to dismiss you. Simply ask if you're free to go.
Darren, those dogs are going to rip apart your car, and they're going to find what you're hiding. Like I said, what's it going to be?
Officer, are you detaining me or am I free to go?
Good. This line can help withdraw you from an encounter. Saying you want to leave establishes that the encounter is not voluntary, which could help you later if you end up in court. Let's practice that line. Everyone repeat after me. Are you detaining me or am I free to go?
Are you detaining me or am I free to go?
One more time.
Are you detaining me or am I free to go?
All right. You want to play it like that? You want to bump it up to the next level? Fine. You stay right here. Don't go anywhere.
Asserting your rights won't make the police love you, but it might make them extra cautious about violating your rights.
Darren, this is a citation for excessive lane changing. Take care of that as soon as possible.
Thank you, officer. I understand refusing a search doesn't make me guilty, but if I'm doing nothing wrong, why don't I just let the police search me and get it done with?
You have the right to let police search you. You also have the right to refuse. The choice is yours. But there are some reasons to think carefully about this. The officer isn't your butler. Searches can get real messy. If they damage anything, you might not be compensated because you agreed to the search. Besides, you never know for sure what a careless person, relative, friend, previous owner might have left in your car at some point. If the police find any illegal items after you consent to a search request, you can be arrested even if you had nothing to do with it.
You have the right to
Consenting to a search request automatically makes the search legal in the eyes of the law. And the Fourth Amendment doesn't require officers to tell you about your right to refuse. So if you're pulled over, don't try to figure out whether or not the officer has probable cause to legally search you. You always have the right to refuse searches.
I don't consent to searches.
But they're gonna search us anyway.
Sometimes they will, but saying no isn't just about stopping the search. It might stop the search or it might not.
Cross your legs.
The point is that refusing the search could help you later if you end up in court. If the police search you without consent, your lawyer can challenge that. As your attorney, I'd be much more likely to win your case if you said no to the search.
If I do not consent, when are police allowed to search my car? You mentioned probable cause. What does that mean?
Probable cause means police must have clear facts or evidence to believe you're involved in criminal activity. In other words, an officer's hunch without evidence of illegal activity is not enough to search or arrest you. But it doesn't take much. Most avoidable police searches happen not because police have probable cause. They happen because people get tricked or intimidated into consenting.
So an expired registration isn't probable cause to search my car?
No, it's not. But you still gotta be careful. Courts are eager to uphold police searches, so something suspicious about you or your car could be considered probable cause. I'm not the kind of guy to tell you how you should express yourself. Expressing yourself is one thing, but exposing yourself to police by being a public nuisance is ignorant.
Everybody knows who I roll with.
Rule number 6, don't expose yourself.
Mr. Murphy, I appreciate you being here today talking about constitutional rights and all, but in my hood, police don't care about nobody's right. They do whatever they want.
Tell us more.
The other day, I was leaving my building on my way to work.
Ajá, ahorita, yeah. En 30 minutos llego. A las 5 dentro, chequeé el schedule. Simón, ahí te caigo. No voy a llegar tarde. Vos pues, ok, va.
You, let me see your hands. Put them on the car. Spread 'em. Where's the dope, man? Come on, give it up.
I ain't got nothing.
Let me see your pockets. Pull them out. Your ID?
Got an ID here.
Run that, please. Let me see your hat. Seen you coming out of there.
Yeah, that's a known drug spot.
It's my home. That's where I live at.
You go to school? Or you working?
I work at a restaurant. That's where I'm going.
He's clean. Get your stuff.
Thank you for your cooperation. You stay out of trouble.
This is not the first time. It probably ain't the last. That's how they do around here.
I'm not surprised. In cities across the country, these stop and frisks are occurring at record rates, especially in low-income communities of color. They happen so frequently they seem perfectly normal to you.
Yeah, that's how they do.
This might be common, but that doesn't make it right. In fact, it sounds like those cops searched you illegally.
Let me see your hands. Put them on the car. Spread them.
If police have reasonable suspicion to believe you're involved in a crime, they're legally allowed to detain you for a short period of time. Reasonable suspicion requires less evidence than probable cause, but it basically means the officer has some specific reason to believe that you're up to something. For example, police can legally stop someone who matches the description of a criminal suspect. A suspect who drops a suspicious object after seeing the police, or someone who runs away after seeing the police. Don't ever run from the police. That's part of what the officers can use for probable cause, and they'll run you down and make you regret it. But if you see police approaching, be calm and assert your rights if need be, but don't run. If they have reasonable suspicion to detain you, police may pat down the outside of your clothing to check for weapons, but only if they have a basis for suspecting that you're armed. If they feel a hard item that might be a weapon, the police may pull it out of your pocket to check it out. Police may ask you to show them what's in your pockets. Remember, you don't have to do it. Emptying your pockets is the same as consenting to a search, and you always have the right to refuse. In your case, there appeared to be no basis to justify their stop and frisk.
It happened so fast, it was over before I even knew it. What could I have done different?
You don't have a lot of immediate options here. If police detain and frisk you, you have the right to clearly state your refusal to the consent to the search.
Officer, I'm not resistant, but I do not consent to searches.
But you should only verbally refuse, never physically resist. Never. Just touching a cop could get you tasered or beaten. You could also get charged with felony assault.
Face forward.
Sometimes people get in trouble for merely standing near others holding contraband, or if it is found nearby.
Look what we have here.
Police may try to get you to snitch on yourself or on others, but remember that police may legally lie to you, so don't get tricked into waiving your rights.
We know you bought this weed. That makes you part of a drug conspiracy. Now you give up your supplier, or else we're gonna charge you as an accessory to drug trafficking.
I'm going to remain silent. I'd like to see a lawyer.
I'm going to remain silent. I'd like to see a lawyer. If you're being interrogated or you're under arrest, these magic words are your best legal protection. They're kind of like a legal condom. Say them with me.
I'm going to remain silent. I'd like to see a lawyer. I seen you drop this, man. Just admit it's yours. It's a slap on the wrist. You make things difficult for me, and I'll charge you with possession and evidence tampering. That's a felony.
Don't get tricked. You know what to say. If police pressure you to snitch, you need a lawyer. Use the magic words.
Officer, I'm going to remain silent. I'd like to see a lawyer.
But remember, just because you ask for a lawyer doesn't mean they have to stop questioning you. If you keep talking, your words might still be used against you, so shut your mouth until you've seen a lawyer.
But when do you actually get a lawyer?
That depends. If you keep your mouth shut, you might not even need one, but if you're arrested and charged with a crime, you need help. If you can't afford a lawyer, one will be appointed for you by the court. The point is that you can't talk your way out of a police interrogation without a lawyer. That's a big mistake. Almost anything you say to the police can and will be used against you in court.
But what if the police try to make you sign a confession or something?
Don't sign anything without a lawyer, and don't rely on the police to explain what it says. Read it for yourself. Usually, the only document that's safe to sign is a promise to appear in court.
What if police come up to me just asking for ID?
Hey, hold up, man. Let me see your ID.
Carrying an ID is required when you're driving, but there's otherwise no law requiring you to carry an ID. But in some states, police can require you to give your name if they have reasonable suspicion to believe you're involved in criminal activity.
How do you know if police have reasonable suspicion?
Remember, police need reasonable suspicion to detain you. So one way to tell if they have reasonable suspicion is to ask if you're free to go.
Hey, hold up, man. Let me see your ID.
Excuse me, officer. Are you detaining me or am I free to go?
Just want to talk to you, man. What's your name?
Are you detaining me or am I free to go?
I'm not detaining you, man, but...
I promise I'm clean.
What's your
Don't
rush,
got time
man?
to chat. Gotta go.
What if they don't let me go?
Then you're being detained because the officer thinks there's some reason to suspect you of a crime.
Let's see some ID.
Excuse me, officer. Are you detaining me or am I free to go?
Turn around, put your hands up on the wall.
In that situation, you could be arrested if you refuse to reveal your identity. Technically, police can't make you identify yourself anytime they want. But on the street, withholding your identity frequently leads to a detention or even an arrest. If your goal is to just get the encounter over with, then identifying yourself might be your best option. But if you're prepared to fight things out in court, you can flex your rights by refusing to cooperate with random ID requests.
You say those police broke the rules, searching me like that? What am I supposed to do? Call the cops on them?
Listen, fighting back against police misconduct is never easy, but it gets easier if you know your rights and if you act appropriately.
What do I do? File a complaint? Does anyone read those?
Oh yeah, they read them for sure. There are lots of bad cops who are off the streets because they get too many complaints. Cases of severe police misconduct can result in major lawsuits that change the way the police behave. I know that because I filed my share of them successfully. Here's what you need to know about reporting police misconduct. During the encounter, pay close attention to details. Remember the order of events. Remember as much as you can about the officers. What did they look like? What were their names? What were their badge numbers? Although you should never ask them for their badge number, that means to them you're about to make a complaint, and boy does it get bad for you if they know that. So never tell them you're gonna make a complaint against them. Remember the exact words that the officer says.
Where's the dope?
I ain't got nothing.
Come on, man, give it up.
As soon as you can, get everybody together who saw or heard anything about the incident. Sit down with them together. Listen to their recollections. Use whatever device you can to collect your thoughts. The longer you wait, the less you will remember.
There's a black cop and a white cop.
Put him on the car.
And try to find other witnesses if you can. You'll need this evidence later.
Reaching in the bag, man.
If you were injured during a police incident, make sure somebody photographs you at your worst as soon as possible. Make copies of any relevant hospital records. If you're thinking about responding to a police misconduct incident, visit flexyourrights.org to learn more about your options. Don't be discouraged just because you've heard about police abusing their power and getting away with it. Now that you know your rights, you've got more power to demand accountability. Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Murphy, is it legal for the police to go around knocking on people's doors, asking to search?
Unfortunately, yes. Did something happen?
It was last Saturday afternoon. I was in my home relaxing after a long week.
Have you been in an accident? Injured on the job? You need a lawyer with experience, integrity, and a commitment to you, the citizen of this great nation. Call me, Boris Krakowinsky.
Who is it?
Police department.
Good afternoon, ma'am. I'm Officer Smith. What's your name?
I'm Karen Stewart. Everything all right? How can I help you?
Miss Stewart, do you mind if we come in for a moment?
1 second.
and Officer Jones here are introducing ourselves to the tenants as part of a new home safety program. We're available if you need any help. Miss Stewart, are you here alone?
Yes. My granddaughter lives here too, but she's at school.
I'm sure you know there's been some gang-related shootings in the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we're trying to do something to get the guns off the streets, and we're asking folks to help out.
Of course. How can I help?
Well, if you don't mind, we'll take a quick look around to make sure there's no guns in your home you might not know about.
There are no guns in here. Go ahead.
Great. Just sign this form for me, please. I appreciate your cooperation. Miss Stewart, I see you have an extensive book collection. You like to read a lot?
Oh, I love to read. I'm always reading something.
Oh, okay. I love to read too, but between my job and my 2 children, I just don't have the time anymore.
I understand that.
So you say your granddaughter is in school? College?
Yes, She's a freshman.
Oh, wonderful.
Ma'am, I'm gonna search this couch here. You mind stepping up for me? Uh-oh. What's this? Can you tell me about this marijuana I just found on your couch?
What's that?
Don't play dumb. You know what it is.
It isn't mine. I cook for some of the children in the neighborhood. Somebody probably left it there by mistake. I don't know.
You really ought to pay more attention to what happens in your home.
Miss Stewart, I appreciate your cooperation. I hate to do this. Please put your hands behind your back. You're under arrest.
Under arrest? What are you arresting me for? I don't know. It isn't mine.
Miss Stewart, I'm taking you to the station. You can tell your story to the judge.
Turn to your right.
You don't have to do this. No, stop. Stop. The worst part is I live in public housing, and there's a zero tolerance rule. I'm fighting the eviction order now.
Did you all hear that, folks? Remember that the next time somebody tells you nobody ever gets in trouble for weed.
I shouldn't have let them inside.
See, this is how they get you. Police come knocking at your door saying, "Hey there, we've got a new safety program. Can we search your home?" Hell no. You don't have to let them in. Even if the police have probable cause, the Fourth Amendment requires them to get a signed search warrant from a judge to enter and search your home. Unless there's a serious emergency, they can't come in without a search warrant. But they don't need a warrant if you invite them in. When the officers came knocking, Karen could have talked to them outside and closed the door behind her.
Good afternoon, officers. How can I help you?
The chain lock works fine, too.
Who is it?
Police department.
Good afternoon, officers. How can I help you?
Hi, ma'am. Do you mind if we come in for a moment?
Do you have a warrant? What is this about?
No, my name is Officer Smith. This is Officer Jones.
We're introducing ourselves to the tenants as part of a new home safety program. Mind if we come in?
No, thank you. I can't let you in without a warrant.
Again?
I can't let you in without a warrant.
That is your decision, ma'am. But this is just a public safety check. We're not here to get anyone in trouble.
I understand, but I need to see a warrant before letting you folks inside.
Well, ma'am, you have my card if you need anything. Have a nice day.
Take care.
We're clear.
If police come to your door and you don't need their help, you may simply decline to answer the door. Because you don't have to let them in unless they have a search warrant. We've covered a lot today, but we've only scratched the surface. If you want to learn about the 10 rules for dealing with police, contact us at the website, flexyourrights.org. Any more questions?
Video set. Cameras move slow when the street get wet. Shake 'em up, roll money down, it's a bet. G's on the set, throw it up right to left. I move like the city, so the streets come with me. Back pocket whiskey, keep me all pissy. Street thoughts got the feeling like a seesaw. Up, down, back up, I need to see more. The lean so mean, the gear all clean. Left arm up, steering the machine. Eyes in the rear view, gotta keep a clear view. When that money talk, the block gonna hear you. Ride with a rider, it'll be thy honor. Every ad's a movie, the script got drama. So bricks, your boy gets busy. Watch how I move like the city. I move like the city. With them skyscrapers stand. I move like the city. With the bunny rubber band. I move like the city. Where everything's fast. I move like the city. Them car lights fly. I move like the city. With them skyscrapers stand. I move like the city. With the money rubber band. I move like the city. Where everything's fast. I move like the city. Them car lights fly. I move like the city. Headlights flashing. Black and mild smoking. 2 Dutch grabbing. I write about my life. This ain't rapping. Skyscraper talk. Yeah, what's happening? Day player, role player, which type player you? Sex scene in your dream, caught by the power you. White queen, wrong king, showing what his power do. Gun spark out the side of a Malibu. I'm not mortal, my city is a portal for life givers trying to grow through the soil. Some talk a lot and that's not loyal. Some birth poor and others birth royal. Chicken spot, corner store, liquor store, church goer. Hope I double up, call me New Ark Noah. Brick City, pretty lights, please y'all get it right. I move like the city, this that city life. I move like the city, with them skyscrapers stand. I move like the city, with the bunny rubber band. I move like the city, where everything's fast. I move like the city, them car lights fly. I move like the city, with them skyscrapers stand. I move like the city, with the money rubber band. I move like the city, where everything's fast. I move like the city, them car lights fly. Working people, hustlers, all in together now. Hear my voice, we can shut the city down. Move it, move it, move it.